Let me tell you something that sounds too good to be true, but it is. When you set a goal, you cannot fail at reaching that goal if you simply take input along the way and adjust at every waymark. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Here's an illustration. Let's say you're going to drive from San Francisco to New York. So you get in your car and you start driving. And you drive, 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 and you look up and it says San Diego city limit sign. Have you failed? The answer is no. You're clearly going the wrong direction. So you turn around and you drive, 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 and it says Seattle city limits. Have you failed? Here's another waymark. You check it out, and you have not failed, but you're clearly going in the wrong direction again, and you probably need some help, some assistance, but you cannot fail at getting to New York if you just zig and zag all over this country, and at every waymark, stop, calibrate by New York, adjust, and keep going. That's the concept that I'm talking about. Now, here's the problem. Here's what messes us up. When we're going along this map and we're like using the GPS and we stop at a waymark, we put judgment in the GPS. So we'll drive and drive and drive and drive. We'll keep going, and then we look up and it says Seattle city limits. We put judgment in the GPS. It says Seattle, you idiot. That's what we put in the GPS. There you go again, says the GPS, but the GPS really doesn't say that. It simply says, New York's that way, you're sitting in Seattle, make an adjustment, and keep going. And what happens is when we get this judgment in the GPS, we start getting discouraged, and we start calibrating by where we are rather than where we want to be. So we'll sit there and we go, I am such a failure. I'm in Seattle. I guess I'll never get to New York. And the minute you start getting that kind of sense of failure, the sense of being down, the sense of looking at where you are instead of where you want to be, you can't get there. But it's because of you and your momentary lapse of where you're going and focusing on where you are alone instead of where you are in the context of where you want to be. So what has to happen? What has to happen is we've got to get the feelings, the judgment out of the way and make a choice. You can't fail if, at a waymark, you assess where you are related to where you want to be, adjust, and take the next step using your power of choice. Now, what's the most important step that you can ever take? It's the next step. Not the last one, it's your next step. Now, you can make some decisions along the way to change. You can get to Oklahoma and say, I like it here. And you can choose to stop your progress to New York and make a new decision. That's not failure. And sometimes people have said, well, Bill, what if you've got to get to New York in 8 days? That's just some additional input that you've got to take along the way. Where am I compared to my goal, and what time is left? That's just a part of the input that you look at the waymark. So, what I said at the beginning is true. Set your goal, calibrate by your goal, assess at every waymark where you are relative to your goal, adjust and take the next step, which is the most important one, and you cannot fail.